Look at a scan of the human brain, and you can map every electrical pulse and chemical reactions as they happen. We know exactly how the biological hardware operates. But modern neuroscience still cannot explain how that physical matter actually produces the subjective experience of being alive. Materialist models accurately detail cognitive access and mechanical processing, but they hit a wall when attempting to explain intrinsic awareness. They track the firing of a neuron, yet fail entirely to account for the software, the actual felt sense of consciousness running on those physical cells. This creates a profound gap in our understanding of biology. If the chemical reactions inside our skulls do not independently generate our thoughts, emotions, and self-awareness, we have to ask what actually does. To solve the hard problem of consciousness, we may need to stop treating the brain as the sole manufacturer of our awareness and consider the possibility that it is receiving that awareness from an external source. The Unified Integrative Medicine, or UIM, framework proposes a specific, scientifically testable alternative. It suggests that consciousness operates as a fundamental, invisible field of information located within the quantum vacuum of the universe. But for an overarching, universal field to interact with tangible living things, there must be a physiological interface. There has to be a specific point where energy and matter connect. This theory views the human body as a sophisticated biological antenna, specifically engineered to tune into this universal informational field. To understand how this connection works, we have to look at the space around us. In physics, the quantum vacuum represents a continuous, fluctuating sea of potential energy and virtual particles, rather than an empty void. The UIM framework hypothesizes that consciousness acts as the organizing principle within this space. It serves as the invisible framework dictating exactly how those random quantum fluctuations stabilize into structured, meaningful patterns. While DNA stores biological code, it also naturally oscillates at specific frequencies, vibrating within ultraviolet and soft X-ray wavelengths. Through this vibration, DNA acts as a quantum biophysical antenna, absorbing informational waves from the consciousness field and translating them into concrete biochemical instructions. The double helix serves as the literal transducer for biological life. It is the precise threshold where the abstract, energetic software of the universe compiles into the physical hardware of a living organism. Translating a signal is only the first step. Once that information arrives at the DNA, it must navigate the dense, chaotic environment of a human cell to actually direct biological function. The delivery mechanism relies on light. Research shows that DNA constantly absorbs and emits ultra-weak bursts of light, known as biophotons. These biophotons bypass slow, mechanical chemical reactions to create a near-instantaneous optical communication network that spans the entire organism. This diagram shows how cellular water facilitates that network through what physicists call coherent domains. Water molecules inside our cells are capable of aligning in perfect geometric phase, creating a protected channel that stores and transfers incoming photonic information without losing signal quality. Together, our internal water and biophotonic light function as a biological fiber optic network. They distribute the exact informational blueprint received from the field to every single cell. There is a major scientific paradox challenging this idea. By all conventional measures, the human body is far too warm, wet, and messy to sustain delicate quantum effects. Standard physics dictates that this intense molecular activity, known as thermal noise, should immediately destroy any quantum coherence. The background static of a living cell should easily drown out the weak incoming signal of consciousness. This graph demonstrates how quantum biology solves the noise problem using stochastic resonance. When chaotic background static is introduced, it doesn't always bury the signal. Under the right conditions, that exact thermal noise amplifies a weak signal, forcing it into a massive, clear peak. Biological life engineered a way to survive the thermal chaos of the physical world. It weaponized that exact noise, using the cellular static to lock onto and boost the delicate frequencies of consciousness. Applying this framework to medicine expands our treatment focus to include vibrational harmony alongside physical chemistry. Within this model, disease is defined as decoherence, a state where the body's physical systems fall out of phase with the organizing frequencies of consciousness. Healing requires actively restoring vibrational harmony between our body's molecular systems and the universal field, moving beyond the chemical suppression of symptoms. Because we can now measure ultra-weak iophoton emissions and heart-brain synchronization, doctors could eventually focus on diagnosing and correcting the phase alignment of this biological antenna. The ultimate implication of this theory extends far beyond health. If consciousness is a universal field, then physical matter is simply condensed information. The strict boundary between the observer and the observed universe completely dissolves. We are open systems, continuously shaped by and actively participating in the conscious fabric of reality.